Hi everybody, I'm Marvel. I would like to talk to you about passing judgment on others before we know the situation and or story to put them in that situation. And my favorite point of this video is don't do it. It makes you look really bad and awfully dumb. And if that offends my viewers, I'm sorry, but that's just the way it works. And if you don't think it works that way, that is totally and utterly on you. And now I would like to tell you a bit of a story of an instance where somebody passed judgment in somebody else's situation, left them open to judgment. Now, I won't name names. I'm not doing this to throw anybody under the bus. I'm just doing this to show you what happens to me. So with that, here we go. When I first moved in here, there was a girl that had a really rough past and a really rough early life, and she didn't know how to handle it well. So she did all the normal coping methods, stay out late, drink too much, a few other things. Well, her I got to be pretty good friends, and we got to be closer, and over time we got to be closer, and she was starting to tell me stuff, and tell me about the past that she had, failed marriages, failed all that sort of stuff. There's other ladies that she worked with, she was also talked to about the same stuff. And they would talk while they were working like no big deal, no issues. How you have somebody twist what you say and say 5 minutes of, of whatever you tell them. Twist that completely around backwards and feed it to somebody else who you are close to. Now, for example, um, she would tell her about her past and certain aspects of her past. Let's say, hypothetically, her sister died. She would tell them about those events. The I would talk to the other now, and she would transfer that backwards and feed them to me. Over time, she started doing it more and more, and so eventually, after the first left, I remained friends with her. I'm still friends with her to this day. So after she left the house that I lived at, I called her up one day because we had plans to do something. I won't say what that is. And she didn't want to connect. They didn't want to was having a bad day. Okay, fine, no big deal. So, at least that's what I should have said. That's not what I said, that's what I should have said. What I did was go out, talk to the other now who she was talking to about all this stuff and choose to believe her, her opinion over the girl that was actually living the life, who had been through the trauma, who had suffered the PTSD, and she doesn't even know how she feels, and she can't make sense of it. Instead of believing her, I believe the judgmental person. So instead of leaving her be, I decided to test that if you and she didn't speak to me for a while. Now, I tell you this story not to dissuade you from helping people who try and leave on you, but to stress to you that when somebody does come to you and tell you that have troubles and tell you stop trying to lean on you and let you in and ask you for help to deal with those troubles. Believe the person with the trouble. Believe the person who's living their life. Because it's their life that they're telling you about. Don't believe the third party. Don't believe somebody who thinks they know better than that person who living their life. That was my mistake, and that's where to this day I feel really, really, really bad. Not only for the guy, but I went against everything I ever stand for. And one of my very basic principles in life is don't judge me. I won't judge you until we get to know each other, which is exactly the opposite of what I did, which is why I said I went against my whole platform. I went against my whole belief system, and I hate hypocrites, like I said. So now, am I saying the girl that was having all the trouble was innocent? Absolutely not. And I think I agree with how she handled herself. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is, if you talk to somebody like that, don't judge them until you actually know the whole story. And I believe that all across the board with disabilities is one of the problems I face is people like me because of my wheelchair. they don't take the time to get to know the man with the mind in the wheelchair. Which, in my eyes, and in my way of thinking, is the worst thing you can possibly do to any person with a disability. And it goes back to the same principle. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know how they feel every day. You don't know how you don't know how supportive of a family they have, or how I had to get to the point where they're at in their life. When you meet them, you don't know if they're depressed. You don't know if they're sleeping in the car. You don't know if they have a job. You know nothing about nobody. I'm sorry. Nothing about anybody until you sit down and have an actual conversation with that person or those people. My point with this whole thing is don't pass judgment. It's very, very rude and very, very mean and make you look really, 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 really bad, especially when that person is able to turn it around and that doesn't you pass. And I I was that person who passed judgment, and it made me really, really bad. And it's also something I do not like when people do it to me. I do not think it's right. I do not think it's fair. I do not think you can even be a part of my life if you pass judgment on me before you get to know me. Because, well, you don't know me. You don't know if I have a loving family, which I do. You don't know that I have a group of friends that would do anything for me, which I do. You don't know that my father sacrificed his body to make me the man I am, and make sure I have the care that I need to survive with both my parents did, and I will do it every day, well, not every day. They will do it for the rest of their life, or until they can't do it anymore. You remember my story? If you sat down and talked to me, nor do you know anybody else's story until you sat down face to face or on the phone until you sat down and actually talk to them. That's my point of the whole story, this whole video, this whole YouTube channel is don't judge. With that, I'm my mother. Yes, I got a little bit on soapbox, but it's a soapbox that I'm very passionate about it. I will not quit being passionate about it until I get out my message. I will not stop using YouTube to show you what I can do until people receive my message. With all that said, I'm my mother. This is all part of my life. You welcome to it. I have some new videos coming here soon. More live details about other topics. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, like the page, and see under my mobile, my life. You're welcome to it as well. Listen on SoundCloud under the same name. I'll see you on the next one, everybody.